I cannot even try to explain how my mind is trying to comprehend.
I know this is going to sound crazy, but just hope for the best.
It's not coming together for me.
Tittiesntoos.
Hi, welcome to Titties and Twos. With me is Monica and I'm Alicia, and today we are going to be looking at cover-ups again. I know we have done it before, but there's just so much that is part of cover-ups that we wanted to look at some other elements that forms part of it.
I just this week I did another 2 cover-ups and I did 2 consultations for cover-ups, and I just realized it's a difficult thing to try and describe in words. So I just wanted to use a few of my previous work that I've done as examples. I don't want to obviously discuss other people's work. It's not because I think I know everything, or I obviously still have a lot of things to learn, especially with cover-ups. I think it's one of the things that excites me the most, because there's still a lot that I need to learn. I just thought I'd discuss some of my tattoos and some of the cover-ups I've done, and maybe that helps clients in the future who want to get cover-ups, just to help them understand it better and what to sort of look for and what your options are.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the last time we looked at, obviously the cover-up needs to be darker than the original tattoo, obviously bigger than what the original tattoo was. So what is it that you look for when you look at a tattoo or somebody coming for a tattoo for a cover-up? I mean, if we are looking at your work that you are going to be referring to, what is it that you look at first and then speak to the client with?
Well, obviously, if your cover-up is so different, you get people who want to cover a small little thing. That's obviously a lot easier. If it's a massive thing, it's like if I had a client who wants a whole half sleeve cover-up.
Oh, wow.
Then your space is obviously limited.
Yes.
You just look at the size of it, and then obviously that's where the tricky part comes in, where you ask your client how big they are willing to go. And then you just work around the restrictions that you have. But it's difficult. Mostly when people come in for a consultation for cover-up, my mind is just like, oh my goodness. I really, I need time. A cover-up needs time. You need time to sort of just look through all your options. So generally when I do a cover-up, or a consultation for a cover-up, I try and take in as much information as I possibly can. I make a little trace of the tattoo and obviously take photos. Then I just go and sit and see what works. It also, if clients are very restrictive in terms of the subject matter that they want to cover it with, that's also sometimes tricky. I think the sort of debate that I and Alex were having this week was cover-ups versus a fix-up.
Yes.
And a lot of the times, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, it can still be a successful tattoo, but then the old tattoo is not completely covered. So I want to be looking at those first, and then just show you why I don't necessarily want to call it a cover-up. Because you can still see the old tattoo. It's more of an incorporation of the old tattoo rather than a cover-up of it. Let's start.
Yeah, let's do it.
So first of all, I want to discuss a fix-up that I did for a client. So he had this lion portrait. I found it so funny because he came to me for other tattoo, and then I was sort of looking at this one the whole time, and I told him, dude, we're going to have to fix up that leopard of yours, or cheetah, and because of the tear marks. And he was like, it's a lion, it's not. And I was like, oh, well, exactly, we need to work on it. So obviously he has this face, and it's not the best tattoo. What I ended up doing, to cover this completely would have been very difficult, because then you'd have to put something very dark over the whole face.
Yeah.
And then obviously he didn't want to lose, he still wanted a lion's portrait. So what I ended up doing is just putting another lion's portrait over that tattoo. I think it is a very successful tattoo. I also saw how it healed. It healed beautifully.
Does it have to go back? Oh, wow. Okay. Yes, I understand. Completely. Wow.
So, if you look very closely, you can still see the old tattoos in little places where I tried to work a bit of white over it. Luckily, the old tattoo had a bit of red in it, so there's a bit of a color vibe going through it.
Yeah.
So even if that white doesn't heal as light as it does on this photo, it's still going to be lighter than the old tattoo, and it'll maybe, sometimes when you put the white over the old tattoo, it creates like a bluish haze, which is obviously, it's still there, you can still see it, but it's not distracting from the overall. Yes, you can still see it's a line portrait. And then obviously I just tried to incorporate the old tattoo, that sort of geometric lines that you see there.
Yes.
I just tried to put some ink splatter over it. Lines do tend to work quite well for cover-ups because of the mane. So for smaller things, I like to suggest that as well, because you can always hide things in the mane. And then the focus is still on the face. So then you don't even realize it's a cover-up. But yeah, like I said, I don't feel like... but I don't know, people can give me their opinions on whether or not this is successful as a cover-up. I do think it's successful as a tattoo. But yeah, that's sometimes an option to go if you don't want to necessarily cover the whole thing or have something very dark. You can just sort of put another tattoo over it. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but just hope for the best. And hope that the new tattoo looks better than the old tattoo and that you can hide the old tattoo properly. But yeah, that's one example. Then the other one, I did this one a while ago, is this crow on a lady's back.
I remember this one.
Yeah. And yes, I remember when she showed me this, I was nervous that she was going to ask me to do something. Because I was like, it's massive. Like, how do you even cover this? And anyway, eventually, I think it was last year, December, she was like, no, she finally wants to do something on this back. She only had one appointment booked, and I knew she didn't want to spend like multiple sessions trying to cover this thing up. She didn't want to do something completely new. She just wants this thing to look better. So what I ended up doing was just putting another crow over it and sort of working with the old tattoo as shading and as the darkness in the crow. But also, if you look closely, you can still see that bluish sort of shading where the old tattoo is still visible. But I think I tried to make it like very whimsical and a little bit, even though it's very dark, because she's such a beautiful woman. So she didn't want this super, super dark thing, but obviously you have to go darker. So I tried to just lighten it up a bit and make it a bit softer and more feminine, even though it is a dark tattoo. And I'm very happy with how this actually healed. I was worried that the old tattoo was going to completely still shine through, especially because of where I had to put some of the highlights. The old tattoo still there, but then I was worried that the highlights weren't going to be light enough to actually show that detail. But luckily, she came back and it healed beautifully. So I think overall, I'm very happy with how this tattoo turned out.
No, I think it's gorgeous.
But if it's a cover-up, I'm not 100% sure. I think it's a blast over or a fix-up rather than a cover-up. But I think it's still an option. It's a successful attempt to make it look better.
Well, I mean, I think you've taken something, and as with the previous one, you've taken something that was already there, and you've just enhanced it so that it is like really popping, really showing that there's detail, that there's a lot more to it than what was previously there. Not to this whoever's work it was. It's about what you have now created over it. To be able to see the type of detail that's got into this. I mean, if I just look at this crow now, the detail in the feathers and all of that, it's beautiful. Like it just flows so well. So I understand where you're coming from, saying that it's not really a cover-up, that it's a fix-up. It does cover to an extent, but it's more embracing what was there and just giving it a new breath.
I think it also depends from, I guess, as I'm thinking in terms of tattoo artists, I think there's sort of two schools of thought in the tattoo industry where some people are very strict and very traditional. In that sense, I don't think it's a cover-up. I think traditionally the tattoo needs to be gone. Like you shouldn't even know it's a cover-up. You shouldn't see an old tattoo at all. But I mean, I'm a bit more on the looser side where I just want to create something beautiful and obviously also work with what my client wants. I knew she didn't want to spend, I think, she said something like she's just so tired of it and she has to hide it every summer and it's so hot and the summer's here. So so I sort of obviously tried to accommodate her as well and what she wants. Because I think if we had to really cover this thing, we would have had to do a whole back piece. at the very least to try and hide it. So yeah, I think for what she wanted, I'm happy.
I mean, for me right now, it actually does look like a crow.
Yes.
And again, just for context for everybody, I'm looking at this picture currently like upside down.
Oh,
So the previous one kind of looks like a little bit of a pigeon to me with like wingy vibes. But I don't think the essence of what was there. Now you can see the essence of a crow.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Okay, I also just want to mention, I know she told me this artist who did this was at the beginning of his career. Because I hear a lot of stories about people who trust artists while they are just starting out.
Yeah.
And that to me, when I hear stories like that, I'm just like, thank you. Like tattoo artists need people to practice on. And especially in the beginning of their career, you obviously don't necessarily know what you're going to get, but just that trust and allowing people to practice on you, it's a big deal. And I do appreciate it a lot. I did appreciate it a lot. And even still, I mean, I'm still learning and I'm still practicing. So, yeah, anyway, just the fact that people actually get tattooed by people is amazing. Yeah, I'm very grateful to it. But anyway, so I think that's all I wanted to say about this one. Let me go over to the next one. Okay, this one is one I did, I think, 2 weeks ago of the samurai on the guy's back. I don't have a before picture here with me. I'll try and, edit it into the video.
Okay.
But yeah, he had some writing down his spine. He also gave me a few limitations in terms of size. He didn't want to go much bigger. Luckily, he wants to eventually go over to his shoulder, so we're going to add stuff going over the shoulder. And he also has a half sleeve that I'm going to have to cover at some point. But yeah, this one I also feel like, I mean, it's a new image. You can see what it is, but if you zoom in very closely, you can still see a bit of the old tattoo in the highlights. I'll see how this one heals if I need to add some white into those highlights just to lighten it a bit more. But I think this is a successful tattoo. You can't really see where the old tattoo was, but I also feel like it's more of a fix-up or a blast over than a cover-up. But this is something to consider instead of covering it completely, just to work with it and see what you can do.
Just out of curiosity, because obviously we're not seeing the original there, but how big was that original in comparison with this?
This one sits about from the shoulder to the feet.
Oh, okay.
So it's the whole length of the samurai. It's exactly the size of the old tattoo, obviously a bit wider now. But But these type of things, if I can be honest, as a tattooer, it's tricky because you stick the stencil on and you do your planning, obviously, to the best of your capability, and you obviously always try your best, but I mean, stuff like that. And I remember with the crow as well, there's areas where I'm like, okay, I can work a little heart in there, I can do this. So I think a lot of trust needs to be in your artist and also just give them that bit of freedom to play around, because the planning doesn't always look exactly like the final product, but it's because of choices you have to make in the moment while you're tattooing, realizing that, oh, fuck, this thing needs to be a bit darker, or I can leave a bit of a highlight there. But it's a lot of fun to me. I enjoy doing it. But it's a challenge, definitely. But let me go over to the ones that I feel like were more successful as actual cover-ups or traditional cover-ups, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
I think the first one I want to discuss, the leaf. So he had some writing underneath the leaf. On this photo, I do feel like it needs another layer of black over the leaf. Because you can still see the old tattoo a little bit, but I think once you could just go over it again with black, then it will be hidden completely. But I think why this works is because he obviously allowed me to go a bit bigger. I wasn't just bound by that size of the specific the old tattoo.
Yes.
So I think even if we just did the leaf, it would have been fine. But he wanted an elephant, so I told him, let's just do the proper elephant. And I think why it's successful is also the focus is on the elephant and the moon. You don't necessarily look at that first. It forms part of the composition, but it's not the focal point. And I think I'm going to mention the other ones as well. That's something that's very important, I think, is to have a focal point that's away from the covered up area.
Yes.
So that you look at that and not at the cover up. and then you don't even realize it's a cover-up. So yeah, but things I think I could have improved upon in this one is just to put some more black in the rest of the tattoo. So I think when he comes for a touch-up, I'll just do another black layer over the leaf and then just add very dark shading in the elephant as well, just to carry that black through.
Yes.
But you also don't want one thing that's
Yes.
super black and super
Yes.
soft, and then the rest of the tattoo is very light and feathery. So you want to sort of have a bit of contrast going through the whole tattoo. Yeah. But yeah, I'm happy with this one. And then, this is also just a quick one, also on a friend of mine. He had those little
Sparrows.
birds. Things. Yeah. Luckily, he also allowed me to go bigger, and I love that it's on his hand, and he wasn't scared of that. So yeah, I also feel like just because of the size of it, and also the freedom, because I remember I told him, like, let's just do a butterfly. It's going to work, a dark butterfly. And he was like, yeah. He didn't give me any restrictions in terms of subject matter. Yeah. So then I could just pick something that I know would work. Yeah.
Listen, I cannot even try to explain how my mind is trying to comprehend that I cannot see those birds anymore.
Where?
Like, legit, I'm looking at this butterfly and I'm just like, where?
Well, I think if you go look for them, you can probably find them.
No, I'm telling you, I am not seeing. Like, if I didn't know that this was a cover-up, I wouldn't have known.
Okay. Well, that's good. Then I think that's successful.
Yeah.
If you look at a tattoo and you just think it's a tattoo, not like, oh, fuck, it must have been a cover-up, then it's successful, I think. Yeah. So yeah, I'm very happy with that, but it was also quite stressful. It's also on the hand, it's a difficult area to tattoo.
I am still not seeing it. I'm sorry.
Really?
I'm like, it's not coming together for me.
Well, that's good. I'm very happy to hear that. But yeah, I also want to, this one I also did a while ago.
It's pretty.
Which I was quite surprised by, to be honest. Like I said, cover-ups is very challenging, so I always try and just remain calm and do the best you can. Because yeah, you can do planning, but then you realize, like, oh shit, there needs to be a highlight there or whatever, you know, to make sense. You can't just make everything black, because then it's not an image. But I think the thing I wanted to sort of just show people is how the blackness is also distributed across the whole tattoo. I think if the leaves were lighter, that would have stood out as, okay, that's the cover-up area. But because the black is sort of on the edges as well, it just looks like a dark flower with some lighter flowers. But
it is so beautiful. Just that dark flower on its own is so beautiful. Again, I don't know what was there, and I can't see anything else that was there. But to me, immediately it caught my eye to say, like, oh, wow, you know, that's different to your normal flowers that people would usually do. There's that dark element there, and it's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's a contrast between the flower behind it, and like you say, with the leaves, it just connects.
Yeah.
It flows.
Thank you. I was also quite happy. I think it was a scar cover-up as well at the bottom. Or not a cover-up, but a distraction. I call it a distraction from the scar. But yeah, I think she also allowed me to go a bit bigger. I think obviously with any cover-up, the bigger you go, the better. Yes. So I think if I was allowed to do like a massive thing, it would have been maybe a bit more successful as well. But yeah, I was quite happy with how this one healed. I remember I did put some white highlights in the what do you call that little thing? Thingy.
That stuff.
Yeah.
Hope you all understand things.
Yeah, so I remember I had to put some white in there. But yeah, I think overall, yeah, it also healed quite well, and I'm happy with it.
No, it's
then I think my most recent favorite cover-up. Where did I put it in? I don't have it. Let me just quickly get it. Was anyway this Art Nouveau piece I did, I think last week. The reason why I also think once again it's successful is because you immediately look at the pretty face. Obviously, I need to still add color. This is not finished yet, but
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was so excited about it. I wanted to post it, even though it's not done.
And if you haven't seen it, it is on our Instagram page. We've uploaded it on there.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
I'm sure. But yeah, I think I think because the focal point once again is on the face, so you don't even look down. Obviously now with the color draws your attention more, but once the color is throughout, it will not do that. And I was very happy. Also with this client, I think she didn't expect to go as big. And the night before, I was really sort of struggling to. The only thing she wanted was an Art Nouveau style thing, and with the daffodils, that was the only restriction she gave me. Anyway, so I was struggling to come up with a design until I just went a bit bigger. And then I remember I told Alex in the morning, she's like, I hope she's just, I was hoping that just because it's so beautiful that she just want it without making any changes. And luckily, when she got there, she liked the design. And I asked her, like, I know it's bigger than what you expected, but please let me do it this way. And she was like, she just asked to see what it's going to look like on her leg. And then she was like, oh, it's not that big actually. And she didn't make any changes to the design. And I was also willing to go bigger. I think those things are important. You have to go a bit bigger. And I think especially for the size, in terms of going bigger, if you have more space to work with, you have space to put other detail and other focal points. And also I think because it's so detailed, there's so many pretty things to look at that you don't even look at the cover-up area.
I would honestly not have thought there's going to be any more color, because that green to me, just when I saw it the first time, I was just like, oh, chef's kiss. It's beautiful. It takes you to that, but then it kind of leads you into the rest.
Okay. But I still want to add I still need to add yellow in the flowers and then a bit in the crown and a little bit in the frame. But just so it's a bit more spread out. Yeah. But I did struggle a little bit on this area of the skin. I'm going to be honest about my experience while tattooing this. Obviously, she still needs to come for a second session. I'm quite curious to see how this green heals, if it actually covers it nicely. I might have to work a bit more black in it. I was struggling a bit with my line work there as well. So I need to neaten that up. But it was like right on that bone. So I struggled a little bit with my technical application there. I'm going to have to check how that heals. But also, that's the one thing I wanted to mention is sometimes to add color to a cover-up really helps. Because if I didn't put color in this design, that whole leaf would have had to be pitch black.
Yes.
So you can always add darker greens, darker blues, purples also work quite well for cover-ups, just to hide that sort of blueness of the whole tattoo. I always ask clients, are they willing to add color? Because it definitely helps a lot. But that's it. I think most of all, with cover-ups is trust your artist. If they suggest something, there's a reason why they're suggesting it. There's a reason why that would work and why something else won't work. I think with me and my personal tattoo journey, I do want to be honest with my clients and tell them, listen, this is what I want to do. This is what I know is going to work for a cover-up. And I think if I design something, I design it for a reason. There's a reason why it's that dark or it's that big or whatever. I think if clients aren't willing to go darker and bigger and sort of listen to the advice of the artist, then the laser removal is an option.
I'm just going to say it again. It is going to be a lot more painful than what it is for getting a tattoo. That is what I've heard from people that I know that's gotten it. It's going to take a lot longer, months versus like 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks healing. And I mean, look, there's nothing stopping you. If that is what you want to do, absolutely go do it. But keep that in mind as well.
It's a journey.
It is going to be a journey. Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to take time.
Actually, one of the consultations I did this week was with a lady I saw about a year ago. She had, I think, a butterfly on her tummy, and I sort of showed her what I could do. She wanted like a fish with the tail turning into leaves and flowers and things, but then using the fish as the cover-up. So then I showed her how big we need to go and how dark the fish needs to be. And I remember her just saying, like, no, it's she doesn't necessarily mind the size, but she doesn't want this big black fish just there, She wants a bit of detail. And unfortunately with that thing she had, was so dark. You
Yeah.
wouldn't have been able to add any detail to it. It would just be a black
Yeah.
fish. Anyway, and then she went for laser. She booked another consultation with me this week, and she showed me how it was sort of progressing, the laser removal. It is a lot lighter now, and now we can add detail to that fish. I think she's going to go for a few more sessions. But yeah, she also said it's a project. It's a long-term project, and I mean, I respect it. If that's what you want,
Yes.
then yeah, do it. At the end of the day, it's about having a successful fix-up or cover-up or new tattoo, just having something that looks better. So whatever route you want to take, that's fine. But yeah, if you're asked to advise you on things, it's best to listen.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why you say certain things and why you suggest certain things to be the way that they are.
Yeah.
I don't think it's there that you want to play games or that you want to do things that's going to be against what somebody else would want.
Yeah.
You know what it takes to make it look good, number one, but also to make it look like a cover-up / can't see that it is a cover-up.
Yeah.
You know, that, and I think that is where it's quite important.
Yeah.
It's not that, I mean, if I look at this, again, I can't see that it's a cover-up. I'm going to refer back to the butterfly one. Literally, my mind is still reeling here now. I cannot figure out where those birds are in this butterfly. That, to me, is what it is about, and that is why you made that suggestion.
Yeah.
And that's why people should listen.
Yeah. And I think also just based on my previous experiences, I mean, once again, just going to be honest, I've had situations where I just realized, like, shit, this tattoo is it's not a good cover-up. It's not necessarily covering it well. I have to sacrifice too much of the detail of the thing that I want to actually cover it with. That it's not the best tattoo that it could have been.
Yes.
And it's just a shitty place to be in while you're tattooing this thing and realizing, like, shit, this isn't working. And then you realized, then I just realized, like, fuck, I should have put a boundary there. I should have said, no, this is not going to work. I'm not going to compromise your tattoo, the beauty of your new tattoo, just because you had a bunch of requirements or restrictions.
Listen, I love this concept of putting boundaries, whether it's with tattoos, life. I love it.
Yeah. And boundaries, I think people think boundaries are bad things.
No,
it's actually beautiful once you actually start implementing it in your life.
Yes.
It's so rewarding. So yeah, boundaries are good. Boundaries are definitely good. And once again, it's not because I'm being difficult or I'm being mean or I just don't want to do it. It's for your own good that I say something might not work. So yeah, I think that's it. I don't have anything else to add.
Well, I mean, have a look at all the photos that's uploaded, that you can have a look at what it was, what it turned into. Give us some comments, what you think about it. Maybe you have something that you want to get covered up and, you know, it's something that you want people to be able to look at and say what can be done with it.
Yeah.
Hit us up, let us know that
And
we
book a
can.
consultation.
Yes, book a consultation. Always a good thing.
Yeah.
And then get in contact so that we can, you can help people with what they want to maybe look at as a possibility for a cover-up or even as a fix-up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and be able to work with that.
Another thing I want to mention about cover-ups is just how rewarding it can be. I know a lot of my clients come to me with bad memories connected to that tattoo that they do have, and then just seeing how they are so grateful that they don't see it anymore.
Yes.
And it can be so healing and so rewarding to just get rid of those old memories. And that's one of the beautiful things about tattoos, is that you can change them and incorporate them into new things, make new memories.
100%.
Beautiful.
I don't care what anybody says. I'm right in this. I'm just taking that already out there. Getting a tattoo, any tattoo, is healing.
Yeah.
There's something about it, whether it is healing just for that moment that you're in, whether it is for things that's built up, whether it is just for your frame of mind, whatever, your self-image, doesn't matter, but there's a healing point to it.
Yeah.
And being able to walk out of there looking at it and being excited, that is one of the things. This week we shared this thing on Instagram where we said, be your own vibe.
Yeah.
And that is what it is.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's like being that vibe.
Yeah. And basically creating yourself, the self that you want to be.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Love it. But thank you very much for joining us again for more cover-ups. And we will see you with the next one. Thank you. Bye.
Titties and twos.